Thank you for listening to the Business Blast podcast. So for all my listeners out there that have been wanting to do your own podcast, I'd like to introduce to you Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. So before I found Anchor, I had never actually done a podcast because all the research that I had gathered made it seem very complex. Then I found Anchor, and Anchor makes podcasting extremely simple. So if you want to do your own podcast, go to anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Chantel Soumis with us. She is a brand sorceress, differently abled advocate, LinkedIn local host, speaker, marketing obsessed, and bubbly and blessed. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Of course, pumped to have you here. We'll dive into the first one, Chantel. The first question I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Yeah, so the best story from my life is very recent. It's actually within the last 5 years. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and epilepsy, and it turned my world upside down. As strong as I thought I was beforehand, I had a lot of learning to do through the diagnosis, and then applying for jobs in the workforce and finding a fit professionally, having to disclose that I had a disability on the application. So that one, it taught me a lot about true strength and the power of positive thinking, or neuroplasticity.
Yes, thank you for sharing that with us. The next one I have for you is, what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that is within your expertise or industry?
Yeah, so something that's newer that's catching on is personal branding. And what I do as a brand sorceress, if you will, is add some magic to the branding process. And personal branding basically helps you uncover hidden strengths or superpowers that you have and leveraging them the right way to achieve success.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Mine would be, especially after being introduced to the differently abled community, is that everybody has a limitation, no matter what you're going through. You know, if it's a visual impairment, a mobility impairment, or just a lack of confidence, everybody's dealing with limitations, and excuses are baloney.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I feel like this is a common piece of advice, and that's to be present. You know, life it goes by so fast, and the little things, they're actually the big things at the end of the day. So being able to be present and appreciate that.
Yeah, I like that. And it might tie in with the next one, but in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Definitely being present. Your mindset in general is the key to happiness and success. Science has proven that thought reframing attributes to overall health and wellness. So when you're healthy, you're happy, and when you're happy, you're healthy.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Okay, so you're going to have to help me with this one because, it's easier to put down in writing, but it's unfuck yourself. Get out of your head and into your life by Gary John Bishop. Awesome. Amazing. Let me tell you, it taught me so much about the power that we really have with our mindset and neuroplasticity and reframing our thoughts into positive, healthy, happy thoughts.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
Okay, my favorite quote, it's been hanging on my wall since I was a little girl, and that's, "It's never easy reaching for dreams, but those who reach walk in stardust." And this is why I named my business, my branding business, Stardust Creative, because it's so true. It's hard to reach for dreams, but when you do and you get outside of your comfort zone, magical things happen.
Yeah, love it. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where is the best place for people to find and or connect with you online?
Yeah, so I'm super, super active, painfully active on LinkedIn. Definitely LinkedIn. Also, I'm on Instagram at @MarcomChantel, Twitter at @MarcomChantel, and www.ChantelSoumis.com.
Perfect. Thanks again for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.